Hi there, welcome to another video in Tech Work Group Manager series. Who are IT's most valuable staff? Both financially and procedurally and in terms of their technical capability. It may not be who you think it is. We're going to look at who are actually IT's most valuable staff. When addressing the question of who are the most important and valuable staff in IT, some of the conventional wisdom can be called itself into question. If we were to look, for example, at the salary scales, who gets paid the most, then by and large, developers are paid the most. So are they the most valuable staff? Behind the developers, the network specialists, they're also paid pretty well as well, or they're valued commercially and in salary terms highly. Then below them there's the desktop technicians, and then usually least of all the service desk. So the service desk are the least valuable people, at least according to what's the market rates for their salaries will say, and developers are the most valuable, right? Wrong. And the key reason for taking this rather askance view of who is the most valuable among IT staff is business reliance on technology. The business needs technology in order to be able to deliver what it delivers. And the people who use the technology, therefore, their productivity is essential. User productivity is the point. If the machine stops, so does production. And lost user productivity has an immediate impact. Costs incurred, the business service not delivered because the computers are not usable. The users of the computers make the corporate reason for its own existence real. Continued operation is essential, and developers, while important, don't have that immediacy. Let's not be misunderstood here. Every IT job is important. The developers make the future, but support continues the present. So unless the company is a software developer, then IT support is IT's most mission-critical function. So which parts of IT support are we talking about here in terms of the value? Networks, right? Because they're the next highest paid beyond the developers? No, because an awful lot of the stuff that networks do these days is in the cloud. It's off-site. It's dealt with by other organizations. The servers have a tendency to keep going until something goes wrong. So it's not networks. Is it desktop then, because they're the next one? No, because desktop technicians, on average, fix only 5.5 enquiries per full-time equivalent per day. The service desk staff commonly resolve over 5 times that. In business terms, it's the service desk that saves more user productivity. So it's the service desk then, right? No. It's not a question of one type of specialism or another. The clue to this is in the workload arrival. Take, for example, the realities of most IT support workload arrival over the day. There's a peak in the morning and it's slacker in the afternoon, but the staffing levels are about the same. The morning peak, if it's not addressed or there isn't staff available to deal with it, the morning peak delays fixes because it offers an engaged tone, or busy tone, and a busy first line will then tend to escalate to the second line, increasing the backlog and slowing the fix down. So there's another issue going on here that's not a matter of simply which technical specialists are the most important to IT. It's a question of the availability of the skills of technical specialists. So what if then we had flexible support staff who could swell the first line in the morning with second line staff, Those second line staff would typically bring greater expertise, and that would mean that there'd be a higher first line fix in the morning and fewer escalations. Those fewer escalations would mean freer resources in the second line in the afternoon when the incoming demand has decreased. The consequences of such a flexible arrangement as with flexible staff capable of working both first and second line means faster fixes, especially when those calls first arrive at busy times of the day, which means saved lost productivity. There are fewer escalations, so there's a smaller backlog. You swell the second line in the afternoon, which means more resolvers, so there's an even smaller backlog. The first line staff who go on the second line in the afternoon gain more second line experience. Bringing that experience back to their first line work means that they will be producing a higher first line fix rate. So everybody benefits and the service level rises. There are sadly impediments to the way we would do this, because there are market ways of doing things that have been around for a long time. The way we pay people the least on the service desk where they're doing actually the most valuable work. And a conventional technocracy can also get in the way. There's still a type of technician who would see leaving the first line as a form of promotion, who might embellish that with technical pride. I'm second line now, so I don't have to answer the phone. And that kind of inflexibility gets in the way of us having a flexible support service and making the best value from the people that we have. IT's most valuable staff, yes, IT support of course because of the business criticality element, but beyond that, if we can find flexible first and second liners, people who are prepared to do the reactive work both in the first line and second line capacity, people with a good diagnostic ability but also are good with customers, are happy to go on the phone, and they're also happy to deal with machinery. That kind of flexible staff, that's the holy grail of IT support. If you can find those, they're worth a great deal more than you're paying your second line technicians now, because you can do more with them. So how to make use of this then? Hire staff who are good on the phone and technically ambitious. Merge the service desk and desktop support. Rotate staff between both those functions based on demand. Anticipate common inquiries and train everybody in the typical solutions to those common inquiries. And target support technician productivity. Get all that right and you will be able to save the business from lost productivity due to delays in support, and you'll also have the flexibility to be able to do that at any time of the day. Your most valuable IT people are people who are capable of working in IT support at both first and second line.